Hello, I'm Anne Corbin. I'm the Mind Body Spirit Mentor. And my podcast is the Mind Body Spirit Connection. And just recently I've been talking about belly breathing and central channel breathing. And I said that I would put a few visual supplements up on YouTube so that you can so that you can see what it looks like rather than just use your imagination, if you find that helpful. So my podcast, Mind Body Spirit Connection, goes out every Friday, and I'll put a link, various links to it in the comments below. So yeah, please give it a watch. I would be delighted. And please like it and rate it. And similarly with these videos, it would be great. It helps with algorithms or something. So here comes a little mini PowerPoint. Welcome to this little video called Energy Flow and Breathing. This is Anne Corbin. I'm the Mind Body Spirit Mentor. We are energy beings. We're composed of energy. We are surrounded by energy. And this is a representation of what the Tauric field that surrounds all of us looks like. At least that's how it looks when it's operating smoothly the way it was designed to work. And this is another way of representing the energy fields which surround us. The innermost of the solid lines represents the etheric field. The next one, the blue one, is the emotional field, and the red one is the mind field. And as we get further and further away from the body, the lines get weaker and weaker. And for us normal mortals, they've more or less disappeared at this distance. So we're tripartite, we're composed of mind, body, and spirit. And the issues with the energy fields surrounding us is that they tend to fill up with gunk. And the gunk prevents messages getting through from our soul to our intellect. The soul wants to communicate with us, but it cannot communicate directly with the mind. So the body has to act as a go-between, and it needs to be trained how to do it. The body also struggles because of the gunk, so we need to address the gunk by looking at the blockages in our central channel. And the blockages cause wobbles in that toric field, so it ceases to operate the way it should, and it no longer looks regular. So let's have a look at energy displayed this way to begin with, because it's more easily demonstrated what happens with these blockages. They start building up when we are pretty young. And of course, we can't see them. We can't see the energy surrounding us. We don't even know that the blockages are there. But this is just a little diagrammatic representation of all the gunk in the energy fields surrounding us. Also known as blockages, also known as subconscious interference, also known as limiting beliefs. This represents a message that the soul is trying to communicate. It's trying to get through to the body, and a nice big piece of gunk is stopping it. There's a message getting through because it happened to find one of the gaps. There's another message getting through, and now you see a message bouncing back off the gunk. And here's another one trying to get through and bouncing back, and another one bouncing back. And so it continues. Now, the central channel is important in conjunction with belly breathing for addressing these issues with the gunk and clearing the interference. I'm not going into detail about the methodology of clearing at this point. I'm only covering the basics. So when we're doing the central channel breathing, we need to connect our minds with our bodies. So we use anchor points, and the anchor points are those 4 spots which you can see, they are the third eye right at the top. The throat chakra is the second one down. Third one down is the heart chakra. And the fourth one is what I refer to when I'm saying Mulabandha, the actual chakra. It's the first chakra or the root chakra, and its Sanskrit name is Muladhara. So back to Taurus man with the Tauric field, it looks like a cross-section through a pumpkin or a donut or something of that nature. And that field around the body is supposed to be even, 360 degrees around the body, if you can imagine the thing in 3 dimensions. So as energy beings, when there is interference or gunk in the energy field, as I showed you earlier, it looks like that. When we're representing it the other way, then you see these sidewards lines. Now, if you recall from central channel breathing, we draw the cosmic energy down through the central channel like that. It goes into the earth, turns around, and then we draw it up the central channel. And if there's no interference, it comes up with a nice bit of force and then sprays around the body evenly. If you picture the spray from a whale's blowhole, then you get a feeling for what it looks like as the energy sprays out. However, when there are blockages, the energy can't get through in an uninterrupted fashion, so it has to wiggle around the blockages. Therefore, it loses its strength, and the result of that is what we call a wobble in the Tauric field. We're out of balance. We see the world through a distorted field, and therefore we get a distorted view of the world. And incidentally, although these blockages look solid, that's just the way they're represented in a picture. What they really are gaps. There's gaps in the energy flow between the various chakras, and there can be more than one gap. I mean, okay, we're moving up through 7 chakras, but there could be 45 little gaps. It's rather like if you imagine a motorway where a piece of it is washed away by a storm, the traffic can no longer flow over the missing piece. So one final word about belly breathing. We flatten the diaphragm. We use maximum space in the lung cavity. And as a result of that, with the lungs expanding, pushing the diaphragm down, the abdomen has to expand. That's why we talk about belly breathing, but blood gets better oxygenated. We get the calming benefits of the parasympathetic nerve receptors, and we have better voice control as well. One quick refresher of the chakras. We refer to a 12 chakra system. There are 7 in the body, represented by the colored discs. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. First chakra is the Muladhara. Next one is, or the root chakra. Next one is the wisdom chakra, then the power center, then the heart, then the manifesting center or the communication center, throat, third eye, and finally the crown chakra. That's our connection with the divine. So just to finish, this is Taurus man with a perfectly regular tauric field around him. However, those tauric fields of all of us are overlapping, and they overlap whether or not they're regular. But it's through this overlap that we can tune into other people's thought patterns. You know, sometimes you just get a feeling when there's an icy chill in a room or a lot of angst. People are happy or they're not. You sometimes walk into a room and you feel an atmosphere. It's all things that our sixth sense tell us. And we get these feelings because of the overlap of the toric fields, and that's also how we are all connected. As you get into spirituality and oneness and topics like that, more and more you'll hear we are all one, we're just one being. It's a matter of connection. We're all connected to one another, and this is another way of looking at it. This is the toric field surrounding the heart. The heart is strong enough to have its own toric field. The next one out is the one that we've been using for demonstration. If you look in more detail, you get a better idea of the three-dimensionality of it. And then there are other bigger, wider fields. And the more enlightened an individual is, if you think of beings like Jesus Christ and the Buddha, and numerous other ones who have just not been so famous and therefore had less impact on the world. But this is what happens to their energy fields. They can be felt from miles away, whereas for most of us, it's just a matter of yards or meters. And one last thing to say about this drawing, if you're wondering what the yellow and the white are, this is cosmic energy as it comes down at very, very fast vibration speeds, down through the central channel, down to to Mother Earth through the 10th chakra. We then pull the energy up. The speed of vibration is now much decreased, and that's the energy which cycles out like this. So I hope you found that interesting, and that's the end of the second little PowerPoint.